Folks, I hope you are having as much fun as I am in this new series sparked by Millennial Mike. We're talking to new real estate investors who are in their first 5 years. And today's story, we will be speaking with Frank. How you doing, Frank?
Excellent, Mike. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So we always start off, Frank. Who are you? What do you do? Where you're at? What's going on in your investing world? What's going on?
Perfect. Yeah, I'm a general contractor. I've been doing residential remodeling for, I think this is my 33rd year. And my wife and I live here in Watsonville, not too far from when you were in
Yeah.
Mountain View.
Yeah. Yeah. Not too
Yeah.
bad.
And yeah, so do a lot of kitchen and bath remodels. And we've started on our second real estate investing journey recently. Would have been 2020 when we got restarted. Um, I tried back in 2007 to purchase a couple of rentals not too far from us here in Sacramento. And of course, everything fell
Blew
apart.
up.
We got a bunch of we got a bunch of that free money they were handing out, and
Yeah.
I have to laugh now at the alligators that I bought, but hopefully those are out of my system.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we all got to make that mistake once. I did too. So it happens.
Yeah.
Alligators.
So we bought those, and we ended up losing those.
Yep.
We um, went through bankruptcy back in 2010,
Yep.
and real estate was always still in the back of my mind. I just felt like it could work, and
Yeah.
then 2019 came around, and I have to say I restarted because of well, due to fear and desperation, I would say.
Mm.
I don't really have like a retirement account of any kind for myself. My
Right.
wife's a teacher, and she has a small, 403b. But I so I started diving in. I wasn't really familiar with YouTube or anything at the time. I started diving in to see about retirement accounts and trying to fill one up somehow.
Mhm.
But after a short time, I realized that wasn't going to do the trick.
Right.
And while I was diving in, I just ran across first I ran across Bigger Pockets,
Sure.
and then back in the day, I think it was even a interview that Brandon had done with David Green, and
Mm.
at that time, the message I was hearing was you could get in with low or no money down,
Yeah.
and so I thought, I tried to start learning again, and
Yeah.
shortly after that, I ran across your channel.
Very cool.
And then from there, things just took off. You interviewed Casey for Brick by Brick Wealth.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
ended up taking her course. Yeah, we took her course. We're in your course. We've taken Dion's course and Matt's course, and
Wow.
we were lucky to find some good, honest, reputable people that really want to help new
Yeah.
investors. So we fell into that, and we're so grateful.
That's awesome. If you don't mind, I want to unpack the pain because you and I lived through the '07 to 2010 pain. We won't spend a lot of time there. I just want to pull out a couple of nuggets. So if somebody in the future we get back there, they will know to avoid those if you don't mind. Um,
Sure.
what I remember about that time and what got a lot of people was the debt, right? It was easy to get money, liar loans. It's just, I seriously, Frank, the last loan paperwork I signed was blank, right? It was that bad, right?
Yeah, I think I remember you saying that, and it was so. The I guess the sales pitch I might have gotten was, you're a contractor, you can make as much as you want,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. Just, oh, you should add a zero. You're okay.
Yeah, and so we did. We got the ninja loans, and
Yeah. Yeah.
and honestly, the first two properties that we bought barely covered the mortgage before it adjusted, right?
Right. That's what
And
I was
and
going to
then
ask you. Did you get those teaser loans? Remember those teaser
yes,
loans?
yes, definitely, that's what we got. And
That's what got people was the reset.
right, the reset happened. And then at that point, so in the beginning, it barely covered the mortgage, and it didn't. I hired property managers, so that was
That was
negative, of
extra.
course.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and it just kept adding up and adding up, and honestly, I've never really had more sleepless nights in my life. I was just
Yeah.
worried all the time. I didn't know what to do, and
Yeah, this is why in the last week or so I've seen Bigger Pockets put out some shows about buying alligator properties. I call an alligator property negative cash flow. It's those sleepless nights, it's that helpless feeling. It just drives me insane. If you want to create all these 17 caveats and all of this stuff around it to try to talk yourself into it, you'll never see me do a negative cash flow deal. I don't want to have those sleepless nights.
yeah, and my wife, she was a little reluctant on this second go round just because of what happened. Because
Could
of
you
what
blame her?
happened. No, no, and I'm so thankful that I think one of the things that convinced her was once she realized, or I was trying to show her how we were analyzing properties now with a bit
Exactly.
more education, and now she's familiar with it, and
Awesome.
she's definitely my sounding board. She's like, and so with that being said, she's really against any commercial loans. She
Yeah,
doesn't
because of
like
the
that
reset.
balloon. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
the
balloon
balloon.
payment hanging over her head is not,
Yeah.
she won't sleep with that. So we
So
can
you're going to
probably,
stay residential, is what I hear you saying.
yes, I think we'll be staying residential, but
That's okay.
yeah, what I was going to lead to was with the 5 to 8 loan product that I think it's Convoy or
Yep.
Velocity has. I would consider. Well, I want to start learning about properties of that size
Yep.
because of that loan product, and hopefully we can find something before the loans product is
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, I think what you're referring to there, I think it's Convoy Home Loans. They can do residential 30-year fixed rate up to 8 units. It might actually
Yeah,
be 10. It might be 8. It's somewhere in there. It's above the 4, but that's definitely a Convoy specific loan product, I believe. So yeah, it's interesting.
yeah, yeah. That's one of the things that has helped me, or has kept me hopeful, is that I always felt like I was getting in um, too late,
Mm.
and things were drying up. As soon as I jumped in, everything changed, and then it was no longer a thing. But with, when you talk to the guys, I've talked to Stephen Dow personally, and I've talked to Jonathan from Convoy, and it seems like every week there's something new to help investors. So I'm not afraid that there won't be
Yep.
something next week. So that helps a lot.
That's why Convoy and Velocity made the cut, right? I get my channel's big enough now where I get lots of people reaching out saying, "Hey, I want to be on, want to be on," and both those folks, Steven, Jonathan, Dustin, they keep creating new stuff. So I'm glad they were good to talk to. So that makes me feel good.
Yeah, it just seems like everybody that is affiliated with you and Orat, they're just, I don't know, they just are so helpful, and it's a little bit strange to me that I can reach out and they'll actually call me back. It's like, yeah, and
Well,
it's like,
I will hold them accountable if they mess up. That's for sure.
yeah, and they're always, all the conversations are like, wow, I feel like I know you. I see you every week, and you're like an old friend. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you know what? Let's switch gears to the second go around. So you pick up the pieces. You try to take in 2019. You get educated, bigger pockets, one rental at a time. Um, did you make the leap? Did what was that first purchase this second go around?
Yeah. So through that beginning of the journey, we ran across, you might know Allie Boone. I think she wrote for
Mhm.
Bigger Pockets for a while,
Sure,
and
I know Allie.
she's really heavy into turnkeys. So um, turnkeys were real appealing to me. Um, so we checked in with her. Um, she was a turnkey. Well, she still is a turnkey promoter, and
Mhm.
she introduced us to a few turnkey providers. And we had a few turnkeys under contract in early 2020.
Mhm.
But once we got to the point where it was time for an inspection, I wasn't happy with the quality of work that they were
Yeah.
doing.
Sure.
And, it might be, maybe I was too critical because that's what I do. And we're
Yeah.
expected to put out a perfect product.
Deliver.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So probably, honestly, 3 or 4 of those fell through in
Okay.
early 2020. And then we had the opportunity in summertime of 2020, triplex came up available. It was a turnkey also. And
Okay.
so we jumped on that one. It was,
And where was that at? Sorry, what city?
this one's in St. Joseph, Missouri.
Oh, Missouri. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. And the sales price was, I think it was 177
Okay.
at the time. And all the numbers added up, it was with everything, the pity and the expenses and everything taken out, it was going to cash flow about 200 a door. So it'd been 600 a month.
Okay.
And yeah, so we started with that one.
Mhm.
That closed in August of 2020. Um, yeah, August of 21, we closed on that first
Okay.
one.
21. Okay. Gotcha.
And then we were kind of, back then I was all over the place. There was a lot of groups. I don't know. Are you familiar with Nate Armstrong? They
I
were,
don't know
um,
that name.
yeah, they were kind of like a wholesale group in Milwaukee.
Okay.
They they had a lot of sellers coming to them to sell homes off market and things like that. We ended up picking up a duplex in Milwaukee with them, and
Okay.
that one closed in April of 2022.
Okay. Got it.
And that's an up down duplex. It's right now it's renting for about 2,700.
Mhm.
The mortgage is 1,700, and so that one's probably been my biggest headache so far, because we were lucky that in the deal we got a credit for $20,000 from the seller
Mm.
for some repairs and things. And sure enough, as soon as it closed, everything broke.
Ah,
So
thank God for the 20K. Yeah.
yes, yeah, it really helped a lot. Um, so so that one has also had some property management challenges. I think right now we have 5 different properties in 5 different locations. So we have 5 different property managers. The other 4 are doing good so far.
Mhm.
That one has just been a bit of a problem. Um, so Dion actually sent me a contact for another company in Milwaukee
Cool.
that we're going to try at the beginning of the year.
Nice. So what,
And
let me ask you about that, because I usually like to see people build scale in a city, and it sounds like it sounds like you're in 5 cities, 5 different teams, and you've probably heard me say this, but I'll say it for the video. If you have 5 teams, somebody's ripping you off, right? Just the law of averages.
mhm,
Sounds like it might be Milwaukee, but I have no real color. Um,
yeah, yeah, you're
let me
right. I
ask,
think.
yeah, let
Go
me
ahead.
ask you the question this way: if you were coaching a new investor, would you strongly suggest to maybe focus on building a little bit of scale in one city, or do you just take the best deal in the best spot? What do you think on that?
Yeah, that's a great point. I have felt guilty about that
Oh,
exact
okay.
thing recently, because I've still felt like, even though we've nailed down that we want to do, long-term rentals,
Mhm.
um, and as what we've purchased so far, I would say has been done through trusted boots on the ground.
Sure.
Because, like with Allie, she was with us all the way. She's still
Mm.
with us. We talk
Nice.
regularly, and when she's had to, a couple of times, she's fought for us
Love
against
it.
the turnkey provider.
Love it.
So we've been fortunate in these 5 locations that we're in to have somebody like that.
Good.
But I think no matter where you start, that's critical.
Sure.
And you almost, it's hard because, for example, I'm starting to like the St. Louis market. We
Hmm.
have a
Hmm.
we have one small cash purchase that we did there, and the agent that we found there was also on Bigger Pockets.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
yeah, so her name's Alicia Sierra, and we connected with her. So with her being on Bigger Pockets, and she's also affiliated with another group that we belong to. It's called Addicted to ROI,
Okay.
and
Nice.
so yeah, so the Addicted to ROI group is run by a woman named Jennifer Beatles, and she started in Washington investing. It got too expensive there, so she started this company called Agents Invest, and those are qualified agents in the Midwest in a few markets,
Hmm.
and they go out and when they find deals that make sense, they present them to the group.
Oh, nice.
So
I
this
like that.
agent that I'm talking about was affiliated with Jennifer, and she was affiliated with Bigger Pockets. So that gave me the confidence to try and find
Sure.
something with her. Yeah. So it is a little difficult to start to build a team in a new market.
Yeah.
Um, so going back a little bit, we have three turnkeys. Two of them were purchased through Allie Boone's network,
Sure.
and one of them we bought one in Gary through Mike's network.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so we're riding their coattails, I guess you could say, and that's given us a little bit more confidence.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike and I did uh, an out of state investing mastermind, which again is on the Best of Orat channel, 2 hours. And the key is, and Mike says it all the time, is you got to find a network of people, right? You got to find other investors doing it like he is and Gary, ride their coattails so that if a problem happens, like your example with Allie, they'll fight for you, right? You
Yes,
may be a small fish with one unit, but Allie's no small fish. They're going to want to keep
right.
Allie happy, right? So
Yeah, she
that makes
keeps
perfect sense.
right. And one of the nice things with her is when she finds a new provider, she'll actually fly out. She'll tour the homes, check
Hmm.
out the work that's going on. Her most recent market is Detroit,
Hmm.
and that provider looks like he has a pretty good um, package going. They also have in-house property management,
Oh, nice.
and it's kind of that same thing because if you have any issue with property management, you go back to the provider, and then
Say, hey,
Allie,
what? Yeah.
you know,
What's
that
going
whole
on?
circle. Right, exactly. So that's helpful.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to that first property you bought, that triplex at 177, cash flowing $600 a month. It's been a couple of years. You have any idea what you think it might be worth today?
I haven't checked the value. It's a little bit tough to get a current comp because there aren't too many others in the area that have
Okay,
sold.
sure.
Yeah, so I mean, you could look at the estimates and things like that, and those are a little bit higher, but
Yeah.
I don't know right now how to get an accurate um,
Okay. Yeah.
valuation.
Yeah. You'd probably have to call an agent to do a comp or something. I was just curious.
Mhm.
Prices have been up a lot the last couple of years. Uh, have you had any turnover in that first one?
Yes, we have. We have just recently we had two turnovers,
Okay.
and one of them was one of the original tenants that we had, and for her it was just a matter that she couldn't do the stairs anymore,
Oh, yeah.
so she had to find a different place. And then one couple downstairs qualified to buy a home, so they
Oh, good
moved.
for them. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
always
we
like
just
that when that happens.
yeah, that was, I mean, so there haven't been like evictions or anything, so that's nice. And those units just got filled again at the beginning of this month, so everything's full.
Very, very cool. So I'm curious, it's been a couple of years. What's the wife? Does the wife see the vision now? Obviously, she got in, she's doing it again, but it's been a couple of years. Uh, how are the conversations now?
Yeah, I think she's excited. She looks at deals too. She loves
Oh, nice.
yeah, she's her and my son Frank. He's here with us, and he's going through the journey as well. In fact, we originally started your course for him,
Oh,
and
nice.
after he started going through it, then we kind of jumped on there, and we're doing the
Nice.
same thing. But yeah, she's all in. She's hoping maybe to teach for one more year.
Okay.
So um, it's kind of like whether we're ready or not.
It's
Here
coming.
it comes. Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
that's awesome.
yeah. So she's looking forward to uh, I guess taking on a little bit more of the responsibilities once she stops working.
Very cool.
Uh, yeah, and she can fight with property managers on my behalf.
Nice, nice. Well, I am curious. You're a 33 year vet being a general contractor. Have you ever toyed with the idea of buying a heavy fixer in your backyard and, doing something like that, or no?
Yeah, we have had our feelers out for a while in our local market. I work for several real estate agents around
Sure.
here. So yeah, I reached out to them, um and they're even waiting as well. I had
Yeah, it's
yeah,
it's
one
tough out there.
right. They can't even find anything. But yeah, if we found anything here, I would jump on it right away. I've even had the thought of now that we have a few properties under our belt, um, we have 5 properties with 8 doors,
Mhm.
and I, one of my issues throughout life was I don't like to fly,
Mm.
but
I know how that
you know,
feels.
yeah,
I've been
yeah,
there.
I've
I
heard.
know that one.
But I think this is important enough. So we've considered picking up something that needs some work either in Gary or St. Louis,
Ah,
and
okay.
then at least getting out there for the initial meeting with contractors and everything,
Sure.
like Mike did on
Yeah.
his triplex, yeah, and
Yeah, I think I
creating
think
a little
I
bit of
think you would
value.
have I think that's something you really should look at doing, right? Maybe go find a triplex or a quad that needs a bunch of work. You'll get a great deal on it. And then, yeah, you got to get there and put your eyes on it, get the plan, hold them accountable. Um, I think that's where the value is going to be probably certainly in the next 12 months. Cause anything that's clean, that's pretty, that smells good, fly off the shelf.
Yeah,
But you go find those ugly ducklings that need some love, and you got 33 years of doing this. You can walk into a property that's ugly and go, I know exactly what this will look like when it's done. Um, I think you need to lean on that a little bit.
yeah, I'd love to. I think we've been over the last few months, I would say we've been trying to concentrate and look for 2, 3, or 4 unit,
Mhm.
but these smaller single units keep falling in our lap, and the
Yeah,
returns have been a little bit better each time.
yeah, sure.
Although the last one we had to pay cash, or it ended up being better to pay cash because once we made an offer,
Mhm.
surprisingly, they got another offer right
Of
after
course.
that.
Yeah,
And so we were able to get the deal because we had the cash to buy it.
nice.
And that cash flow is nice, but I would like to get a few more with
Yeah, you got
financing.
got a lot of equity tied up in there. Well,
Yeah,
Frank, I love this conversation. I love the action. 2008 got a lot of people. I love that you guys have come back. I love that your wife's on board. You're bringing your son along. This is going to be fun to watch. Thank you for sharing your story. If somebody wanted to follow you or social media, do you have a feed or anything that somebody could follow?
really, I'm only on Facebook and Instagram. It's just my name, Frank Contreras. And yeah, I'm happy to chat with anybody. We've over the last few weeks, we've kind of branched off from Dion and Matt's group. A few of us have weekly calls now for a
Nice.
little bit of accountability and helping each other out, just checking in each week. In fact, you talked to Cody recently, and
Yeah.
he's one of the guys that we're hooked up with. And
Nice.
yeah,
Nice. Well, and you're in the private Facebook group, right?
yes,
My Nice. So folks, if you're watching this and you're in the private Facebook group, send Frank a note, let him know he did a great job. Frank, you're amazing. Thank you for coming on.
thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Mhm.